What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Fortnite PatchCast, a podcast where me and sometimes guests that I feature on here are going to be going over the latest Fortnite patch. Today's patch was 7.2, and I'm just going to start from the beginning. But first, I'm joined today by my brother.
What's up?
And we're going to start it out right off from the beginning. So the first thing that they added was the scoped revolver. It's available in epic and legendary variants. Fires medium ammo, 42, 44 damage per shot, available from floor loot, chests, supply drops, and vending machines. So you could pretty much find it where you'd find like any other normal weapon. And so I don't know if you've used it yet, but Kyler, what is your thoughts on this weapon?
Okay, so I haven't, like you said, I haven't really got to use it. I did watch a YouTube video on it just a little bit. I did pick it up one time, but I had no ammo and I died right after. But so far, what I'm seeing is like, it doesn't zoom in too much with the scope. Like it kind of looks like a thermal AR or scoped AR in general, and the scope is very clean in my opinion. It's like the new scope that they came out with, the thermal AR looks very clean, and it just feels good to me. Like that's just what I have to say about it right now.
All right, I picked it up. I think it was one time, and it was the purple variant or whatever. And I got one headshot with it, and then they just pushed me, so I just had to kill them normally. But from what I'm seeing is, what I think is that when they added new weapons, they're kind of just adding in the same thing, just with like scopes or it's suppressed or whatever.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
yeah, I feel like in terms of weapons, I don't want to say they're running out of ideas, but I just want to say it's like I'm waiting for something that's like a completely different thing that we've not seen before, you know?
Yeah, because Epic Games, all they add is like suppressed weapons, or like we said, just scoped, like suppressed or scoped.
Yeah.
Constantly, all the time, or a heavy, like because they added a heavy sniper, they added a heavy, what is it, AR? Yeah, they added a heavy AR.
Heavy AR.
They added a heavy shotgun. They added just come on, like change up the meta just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for the scoped revolver, that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, right now I can't see really any problem with it being too overpowered at the moment, but we'll just have to wait and see what they do with it. So they added two things. Go on.
Okay, I was afraid it was gonna be like a deagle with a scope. Like I was worried.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, because the deagle, dude, it's just rough.
Yeah.
It's literally like 75 damage if you just hit someone with its GGs. Like I love how this is like 42. It's solid. It's 44, just like the I think it's the blue AK that does 44.
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. That's all I gotta say for now.
All right. Anyway, they added 2 items this week because they've been gone for like an extended period of time for like over Christmas or whatever. So the other thing they added, it says added gliders, an item that grants glider redeploy. This item takes up an inventory slot and can be found from normal floor loot sources. Gliders do not need to be selected to deploy. Activate them by pressing your jump button while in the air. So they're blue rarity, so it's just rare. It comes with 10 charges, and each time you deploy it, it uses a charge. If you use something such as a launch pad, rift to go, or respawning in a limited time mode, it will not use one of the charges. And you can pretty much find it where you'd find anything else. So this, I think, is interesting because back when glider redeploy was actually a thing, it was pretty split. It was kind of like 50-50. There's people that wanted it, and then there's people that didn't want it. And I was on
that not wanting it train personally.
Yeah, I didn't want it at first, but then afterwards, it just didn't matter whatever they decided to do with it to me personally. But I think this is like a nice balance to have, have it as an item, so it's not like everybody has it. But from what I've seen, it's pretty common. I've got it like every single game I've been in so far.
Yeah, I dropped in Salty and I went in 3 houses and all 3 houses had it. So, very common. That like right there though, that's literally 30 glider redeploys. But who's gonna carry that?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe 10 was a little too much.
Yeah,
maybe.
I feel like maybe
Just
it should be
a little
5,
bit.
and you can
Because of
stack
how
up to 10.
common it is,
You know what I'm saying? So like if you pick up 5 of them at the beginning, and then if you find another one that has 5 in it, then you can stack it up to 10.
Yeah, because I feel like what I played earlier is I was having the same problem. It was like I was just getting glider redeployed out of nowhere, constantly, 24/7. It was pretty bad.
Okay, so that is it in terms of like what they added that was new. So this is pretty much going to be all the adjustments that they made to weapons and stuff that are already in the game. So the
I
first
actually
thing,
just saw it. You can get it in supply llamas? I did not know that. It's
yeah.
pretty interesting.
So yeah, I didn't know that either. So the next thing they done was it says minigun adjustments, adjustments, added an overheating mechanic. So it's kind of going to work like the turret or the plane, I'm assuming, but I don't know. It might be, I think it's shorter because it's just 6 seconds. So it says added an overheating mechanic. Overheat occurs after approximately 6 seconds of continuous fire. They reduced the wind-up time by 37% and updated the audio for the minigun. So what they're doing is they're trying to make it to where, by the end game, everybody has like, max live bullets. So they're trying to make it to where you just can't continuously spray down stuff. So it gives somebody a chance that doesn't have the minigun or something to counter them with, can stop it,
Yeah, it seems like this was one of the smaller things that they've added into this patch, but it's huge actually because
Yeah, I feel like
the
over
amount of
time,
times that I have just got sprayed with a minigun pisses me off because I'm just sitting there, I'm kind of chilling, I'm walking around, and then here just comes a random person out of nowhere with a minigun, him and his entire squad of 4 with miniguns and just spray me. But what can I do in that situation,
yeah,
So I'm happy that it's a cooldown timer, unless you could be really, really good at timing and have your whole squad like you stop at 6 seconds to the next one starts. That'd be insane, but
yeah, that's almost never gonna happen.
yeah, I doubt it.
So what they done was they adjusted the colors for certain items and weapons. I don't think this like changes how much it spawns. This just changed the color to what they feel like it's spawning right now, like how much it's spawning, how frequently. They changed the color based upon how much you find it. So they changed the balloons from epic to rare, so from purple to blue, which I feel like is accurate because I find balloons quite a lot.
Yeah, the stink bomb was changed to epic to rare. That I did not know that either. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was finding stink bombs pretty commonly though, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now
They're
the
not
scope
that
AR.
strong. I mean, yeah, I know it takes 5 a tick, but I still don't feel like it should be purple. So
The scoped AR was decreased from rare to epic to uncommon rare, and honestly, yeah, that's how much I was finding. It honestly was green and blue. So this is pretty huge for people that snipe, such as myself. So it says the following projectile-based weapons now have the same projectile trajectory as the heavy sniper rifle: the bolt action, the suppressed, the semi, and the hunting rifle. So pretty much every sniper rifle I think it's every sniper rifle in the game now has the same shooting pattern or the same like drop and like travel time as the heavy, which is kind of interesting because now it kind of uniforms them all, and so you don't have to learn. If you're like a new player, you don't have to learn and figure out that it has different types of like stats or whatever.
See, I personally love this idea and what they did because I got to where I would only pick up heavy snipers, not because it does more damage, just because of how much the bullet dropped and how it just fell in my hands,
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy that the bolt feels the same way now, and the hunting rifle as well. Semi-autos is
I'm pretty sure it's every sniper in the game.
The actual game.
Yeah, the semis are.
Okay, but the hunting rifle felt incredibly light, and it just did not drop enough for me personally. Maybe now that this is the case, I can actually snipe with these weapons instead of just a heavy 24/7 constantly.
I'm a big sniper, and I've been sniping. I usually take the bolt or the suppressed over the heavy, so now I'm gonna have to like just remember that that's the same thing as if I'm using a heavy,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for the snipers, but I feel like that's gonna be a better change in the end after I learn it or whatever. For new players, it's a great change because they don't know it anyway. So it now says we're getting to like zipline changes. This says weapon first shot accuracy now works with icy feet and while on ziplines. So whether you're on a zipline or if you just have the ice on your feet from like the different frozen places, you now can have first shot accuracy, which is something I thought was weird that wasn't in the game already.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'd be on the zip lines, right, and then there's an enemy up on the a mountain or something. Be zip on up there, and I could not hit anything because this balloon was just horrid. But now that they added first shot accuracy, maybe I could kill some people while on a zip line.
Well, I mean, I have my own problems with the zip lines anyway, so if they're trying to fix them, that helps me.
Yeah.
The reticle center dot in scoped rifles has been reduced in size. This will mitigate situations where it appears you're on target but still miss the shot. So that was something where I felt like with the scoped AR, especially, I don't know, does this apply to the thermal? Scoped rifle, so I guess it does apply to the thermal.
And it also applies to the pistol that they just added, which I did notice this morning because I noticed that the little red dot right in the very center was so much smaller. It was, I think it's about half the size of the other one, maybe.
Yeah.
And I noticed it, and it honestly makes me more have better accuracy that way. So, yay on that one.
Yeah, that's good because it seems like it looked like your reticle was on them, but you weren't actually hitting them. So maybe that fixes this problem or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so they adjusted some of the spawn rates for a lot of the like trap items they're called or whatever. So the cozy campfire, the drop chance from floor loot increased to 0.26% to 0.73%, which I feel like is good because I feel like I was hardly ever running into campfires. Like I would find mounted turrets more than I found the campfires,
Yeah.
Up next, there's a launch pad. They drop chance increased from floor loot from 0.53 to 0.98, which is good. More launch pads is fine, I guess. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't get that
Um,
one. I mean, I get it, but at the same time,
yeah,
I don't because they just added glider redeploy in.
I felt like it didn't need to be
So
changed before, but
yeah,
now since they added the glider redeploy, now there's just gonna be more people in the air. But it's whatever. It
yeah,
shouldn't affect
and
it
the
that
drop
much.
chance from loot llamas increased from 6.63% to 15.47%. So get more
Yeah.
llamas, more mats, awesome, more shield, cool.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see that one. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay. The mounted turret drop chance from floor loot decreased from 0.8 to 0.73, which is good because I felt like you were finding the mounted turrets too much for it to be a legendary item, honestly. So that's good.
Wait, I'm confused. Hold on one second. If you look in the patch notes here, if you go underneath the cozy campfire, it says
Yes,
drop chance from loot llamas from 6 point, and then it does it down here at launchpad as well. Is that in the
and
llama?
that's the drop chance for it to
And how
drop
much you'd
from the
find
llama.
that
Yeah.
item? Okay, so the first one is for the cozy campfire, and the second one is from launchpad, and that's 13.25% to 20.77. And the amount of turret will be 20.42% to 15.47, so they decreased it in the
Yeah.
amount of turret.
I was gonna
That's
go over the
interesting,
loot
which
llama
is
thing, but I
awesome.
felt like that wasn't too important because of the fact you like hardly ever found the loot llamas. But now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was pretty huge. This is the small shields or the minis. The max stack size has been decreased from 10 to 6, so you can only carry 6 minis in one
Yeah, this is
on you at the same
actually
time.
pretty interesting because I was playing squads last night, yeah, you was with me. So everybody had shields constantly. Like I was noticing that last night, and I know it's been like they've there's always been 10 minis.
Yeah,
And then they recently, well, I say recently, but a little bit ago, they added to it to where you can hold 3 big pots now
yeah,
instead of 2. So everyone always has shield, and it kind of gets a little bit annoying, because like you'll down somebody to get up and they drink minis immediately because you have 10. It's hard to
yeah.
run
So
out of 10 minis if everyone in your squad has 10 minis. That's 40 right there. So a lot better if you have 6, in my opinion,
yeah,
for
they're trying
enemies
to
wise.
they're
For
pretty much
me, it's
just
gonna
trying to
suck, but
control how many people have shields
yeah.
at any given time.
My
So
theory, well, not theory, but an interesting thing that they could have added, I was thinking maybe a campfire type thing, but for shield. That'd be very awesome. Like a cauldron you can pop down
yeah,
and you stay beside it, and like technically it gives you drink or something, and you could use that. I don't know. Seems pretty interesting to me. I don't know. Just
yeah.
ideas thrown out there.
All right, so this whole next section is just bug fixes that they've done in the game. So, fixed a bug that could cause you to lose the ability to switch weapons if firing a grappler while crashing a vehicle or interacting with an object during travel. I've never run into that one, so I didn't know that was a bug that could happen at all, really.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just gonna go through these quickly. Fixed a bug where your ability to fire would be delayed after discarding a grappler. So I don't know about that one either. I don't know any of the grappler bugs because I don't pick the grappler up that much, honestly, anyway. Um, remove the ability to ride or be pushed by a grappler due to the ability for players to move fast enough to cause network issues. So I could get how that one would be an issue.
Yeah, definitely.
Fix balloons not being popped by explosions. I'm not ran into that, but I could see like
That
you fire
yeah,
an
that
explosion,
seems
it should pop the balloon. That would make sense,
yeah. I can
obviously.
definitely see how that would make me mad. I'm just saying.
Fixed issue causing odd dynamite size scaling when picking it up and rethrowing. I don't ever pick the dynamite back up after I throw it, or I've never had
I
anybody else
kind of
pick it
just
back up and throw it
run,
at me.
but
Yeah. When a player is eliminated by down but not out bleed out damage, the elimination distance is calculated from the original down location rather than the distance when they're fully eliminated. So this is pretty much gonna make it to where if you snipe somebody from 192 meters and their teammate never picks them up, or if you kill the other teammate, it'll say that 192 meters and not if they crawled further or closer away.
yeah, yeah.
Fixed an issue that caused scoped rifles to have full accuracy earlier than intended. Okay, so I'm taking it that means like the time you scope in, it would have the accuracy before you were actually all the way scoped in. I guess that's what that means. I
Yeah.
don't know. Fixed an issue where the center dot of the reticle while scoped did not line up with the center dot while unscoped. Okay, so that's just like a on-screen issue that they fixed. Fixed dynamite rethrow ability from being canceled by changing weapons or being a vehicle passenger. Okay. Players will no longer receive credit for a no scope if the elimination feed if they use a scope to eliminate a player. Okay. That was the problem too because it would tell you got no scopes when you obviously didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this next section is zipline improvements, which is something that I was waiting for them to fix because
Yes,
I run into
definitely.
these zipline problems like a lot, like Jesus. So they added the ability to change direction via player movement, so you don't have to jump to change the direction. when you're on the zip line, you
Yeah,
can
because
just turn
if you
and look at
jump,
it.
it was like a very risky situation. Like you would jump and then you would fall,
Yeah, but you would
which is
either
not
jump
good.
and then you jump above it, or you would just like fall down and it wouldn't even like jump properly.
Yeah.
So rather than moving at max speed as soon as entering the zipline, players will now accelerate over time to reach the max speed. So it depends on whether the zipline is taking you up or down, and that'll be how fast you get to the max speed or whatever. Destruction effects have been turned back on while riding a zipline, so players will destroy the nearby player buildings before attaching to the zipline, so their path becomes clear. So this will just make it to where if there's anything in your way when you're on the zipline, you'll just smash through it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I thought that was
because
good.
I ran into this one problem where I was ziplining and I hit a wall and just fell, died. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
happy they did that one, honestly.
Um, this next one said added a third decimal place for the mouse/controller sensitivity to allow for more granular value. So that's just another place where you can fine tune your sensitivity if need be or whatever. Okay, so to help with
Mm-hmm.
situations where walls are built mostly underground, we've added functionality where an extra piece will be built for free on top of that piece. This occurs when the
Yes.
wall piece is showing less than 30% above ground. So that's really good. They showed this off before the actual patch came out, so we knew this was coming. This is pretty much where, if you've ever had a situation where your wall or staircase, well, not the staircase yet, I think they're working on that, but just the wall for now, where it'll build into the ground, it'll automatically put another one above that for you, so it doesn't, doesn't give you no cover.
Yes. Because I had that problem yesterday. I was getting minigunned. Good thing they fixed it. I was getting
Yeah,
minigunned and I was just trying to spray them up, and then I was in the river, and then I just got shot by
it
the
just did
thieves.
not
So,
work.
not good.
Okay,
Oh, I see one down here I didn't even know. It was corn stalks will no longer block gunfire. Just I
yeah,
don't know if you remember this, but last week we was we use it fatal, and people was kind of in the corn stalks and we was trying to kill them. No
yeah.
wonder I didn't hit him one time. I did not know that it blocked gunfire.
Yeah, I
Well,
had
now
no
we
idea
know.
about that, but that makes
Interesting.
sense. Editing would no longer interrupt gunfire and pickaxe swings, so that just pretty much means that when you're editing, it will just like not mess with that, which is something that has been a problem for me whenever that happens.
Yes, definitely.
Um, oh, this one I missed up here. It says gamepad sensitivity. Building sensitivity also changes. Change also applies to edit mode. So wait, what does that mean?
Okay, so you know how if I have my building sensitivity all the way up, which I do, so you know how it makes you really quick
Mm-hmm.
with spinning one by ones or something. Now when I'm
Oh,
editing, it
okay.
also applies to that too.
Also, just pretty much made it to where you don't have to separately do that. Okay.
Yes.
Editing a structure will now begin without waiting for a response from the server. This should cut down on ghost shots before editing and make it a smoother experience. Confirming the edit will
Yes.
still require sending data to the server and be impacted by high ping or poor server performance. So this is good because the amount of times I've got shot where I either put the wall, well, edited it, I guess, like, edit to block it off or whatever, the
Yeah.
amount of times I've got shot through the wall because I'm in the middle of the process of doing that is like insane.
Yep.
Um,
Same here. Same here. And I do it to people
vehicle
a lot too. So.
Vehicle impact damage to a player will now respect shields instead of directly applying to player health, which is good because the amount of times people will ram you with a plane. I know they fixed, I think it was the patch before this, where it won't launch you as far, but
Yeah.
it's still a problem where, it just rams in your health and you can't really prevent that even if you have a shield. It just goes straight to the health, kind of like the storm damage does. So I feel like this is good because I don't see why it, would just go through the shield
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway. So when a plane explodes due to any reason, it will now deal damage to both passengers and pilots. This damage no longer ignores shields, so when the plane explodes, it'll also just take shields first if you have them available, and if not, it'll go straight to your health, which is good again, just making it where it's harder to die from stuff like that happening. So here's a big change. This is probably the biggest one in the entire patch. This says infinite dab is even
Yes.
more infinite. Dab for 11 hours instead of 10 in the lobby. So 10 wasn't good enough, apparently, so they had to up that to 11, which I feel like is just the best change they could have made. There you go.
All right. Wait, did they make the floss infinite? I mean, not infinite, but it's way longer than it used to be.
I don't know what they know
Look
with
at
that.
that. Is it still going on your screen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hold on. Cap up real quick. Get done with the emotes.
Adjusted map art to more accurately represent player and marker positions. So it's just something they fixed on the maps end to just make stuff appear more accurate than what it used to be. Textures of props used in emotes are now pre-streamed, so scorecard and other emotes that use props will now have less chance of using a low-resolution texture. So that's good. Where pop-up and emote would look like 1990s textures on
Yes.
the
Yes.
different emotes. That's
I
good.
had that happen yesterday to me, so.
Okay, I think this is the last plane change or like plane bug fix or whatever. X4 Stormwing passengers now have the same hold to exit functionality as pilots. So if you're the pilot of the plane, you have to hold
About
square on PlayStation.
time.
You have to hold square to exit the plane. So now, if you were a passenger, you just tap it and you're out of it. So now you have to hold it down too. So I'm gonna have to remember that.
Yeah, same.
Okay,
Well,
so
I would usually always hold it down just because sometimes if you tapped it didn't work. I don't
yeah.
know if you ever experienced that problem, but I've had it happen to me plenty of times. So.
Okay, so these are more
Bug
bug
fixes.
fixes, I think. So fixed instances
Mhm.
of glider redeploy, not deploying when exiting a Stormwing. So I know you've ran into this.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it literally killed me 3 times in a row. Got on the plane. Oh, this guy's below us. Let's jump out. Jumps out and just dies. Like I hated that. Props to
yeah,
you, Epic. Thank you for fixing that. That was like the biggest thing that ever happened to me, and it really pissed me off. Thank you. Oh
yeah.
my
That's good.
God, it's about time. I've been waiting weeks on that.
All right. Fixed grenade throw animations not playing the follow through when watching other players throw a grenade. I have no idea what that means at all.
Um, I think it means when, like, say you throw a grenade and I'm looking at
Yeah.
you, it's not showing that you're throwing it. It just shoots out. Like,
Okay, so like when the skin,
maybe. I don't
the
know.
character throws it or whatever, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, that might be what it
Yeah,
is.
like it doesn't pop up on my screen. I think that's what that means, but if I could, I mean, I could be wrong, so I'm not
Ah,
exactly sure on that.
here we go. Here's the thing that they done with the floss. It says fix the preview length on many emotes in the lobby to hear the full music track. So a lot of them I guess got longer, which is good.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's good. Completing the play a match with a friend daily challenge now correctly counts towards other quests that require completing daily challenges. Okay, that's
Speaking
good.
of daily challenges, they need to add more into the cycle
Yeah, I feel
because
like that
they've
would
had
be
the same
great.
ones forever. And I know they tweaked them just a little bit. Like it was literally like play 7 matches. It was like play 10, but then they knocked it down to 7. It was
Yeah,
little tiny ones like that, but it's still the same challenge. So please add different ones. Like it's kind of getting boring at this point.
for real. Okay, so fixed players not being able to destroy the boombox from certain distances, which I didn't know that was a thing because I've never tried to shoot the boombox. I just either run away.
Oh yeah, I forgot that
Or
that was a
just
thing that they added.
yeah. Fix some issues with zip lines, which I think really need to be fixed. They could bring as many different changes to the zip lines, and they still would probably be broken. Um, Players would no longer be flung across the map or get in a broken animation state. So that was my problem. I would get on the zip line and it would just fling me down or fling me to the side and just like launch me off the entire thing, and I would just go down every time. And it started to like get on my nerves a little bit. Okay, so a cooldown has been added to ensure jump spamming will not allow players with mild network issues to fall through the zipline collision. So that was part of my problem too, because my internet kind of sucks. So I guess that's good for me. The zipline magnet will no longer remain over players' heads. I've seen that on other people, where like the sound and the magnet will still be over their head,
Yeah.
and it confuses me because I think they're on the zipline, but they're like trying to kill me, you know. Players no longer fall when colliding with enemy structures. So yeah, that was the thing too. You could run into somebody else's
Yeah.
something and you would just like fall down. Players would no longer dismount zip lines at steep angles when under bad network conditions. So like it's pretty much you jump on the zip line and just automatically just puts you down because your connection's so bad. Okay, so on to something else. Fixed an issue where players would sometimes take 2 instances of impact damage from getting hit by a X4 Stormwing. I feel like this has had to have happened to me before because it feels like I had 200 like HP or whatever, and then it just like it'll knock a
Yeah.
crazy amount of health down from you. Where it feels like you shouldn't
Yeah, I
have got
had
hit for that
200
much at all.
HP, and what happened is he came in and he hit me and it knocked me like I don't know 60 HP, and then he left and he was gone, but it knocked me 60 HP again, randomly.
Yeah, I don't get it. Glad it's fixed though. So, damage numbers when shooting mounted turrets now properly displays as vehicle damage instead of player damage. So that was a thing that I noticed yesterday when me and you were in creative when we were shooting the turrets at each other.
Yeah.
If you were hitting the turret, it would still be white. Now it'll play that like that'll show like that orangish color for the vehicle damage.
Yeah,
Good.
I noticed that because I didn't know if I was hitting you or
Yeah.
the turret because it's like 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, and you weren't dead, and I was like, I get it now.
This is a big
Alright.
one I think it's been a problem for a couple of weeks. Players who are emoting on the starter island will no longer continue emoting after jumping from the battle bus. So
Yes.
you hear them
I've
like
been
gliding
hearing
beside
people.
you and they'd be playing the different emote tracks.
Yeah, like a Flossom here. Dun, 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 like all the way down. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah. Gliders and umbrellas will no longer appear sideways or misaligned when dropping from the battle bus. That's the thing too. The
Yeah,
glider
yeah,
looks
I've
like it's
noticed
halfway
that
through your
as well.
body. So
Umbrella's all messed up, and it's like through your chest, and it's like, God, okay. Events, boys. I've
okay,
been
so
waiting for
this
these.
yeah, this has to do with all the tournaments and events and stuff. Tournament systems have been significantly updated to support upcoming features. We will be operating a series of small-scale test events as we test these updates with more players. We will be testing in waves until we are confident in the new functionality. At that point, we will again begin running tournaments regularly for all players. Older tournaments will be removed from the Events tab on Switch and mobile devices for the time being. Data on those tournaments has been saved and will return to platforms at a future release. Players will automatically be removed from the match after 60 seconds of spectating after being eliminated. So you can't stay in the tournament match 60 seconds after. You can't just spectate the people in the tournament. So I don't know why they changed that,
Yeah,
but they just did.
yeah, it's interesting.
So they're pretty much just going to come out with new tournaments later, and they're going to begin to roll out like smaller scale ones to different people, I guess in different regions or whatever. So that doesn't
Yeah, I'm
apply
looking forward to it.
to me because the tournaments obviously aren't here yet. Audio, these are some audio changes. Fixed shield damage sound playing when shooting or getting hit by teammates. Okay. Gliders that have music can now play their music in the lobby for previewing. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, that's interesting. Now you can do the what's the name of that one? You have it.
The hang time?
Yeah, the hang time. Now, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Like, you can actually check it out now. That's pretty cool.
They reduced the volume of the plane, so the plane's quieter. They reduced the volume of the
Oh
boombox.
no.
And they added a unique bouncing sound to the dynamite, so when the dynamite's bouncing, it'll make a unique sound now, I guess. It won't sound like a grenade, when it bounces.
Yeah.
Bug fixes. Fixed music cutting out on mobile Switch platforms. Fixed incorrect boost audio loop for Quad Crasher on mobile/Switch. Fixed missing medium distance scoped AR gunshot sounds. So I guess if you were like a certain range with a scoped AR, gunshots wouldn't sound right. Fixed loud winter biome ambient audio on mobile/Switch. So okay, they fixed a bunch of loud noises and stuff cutting off, whatever. UI. Okay, so I noticed this today. They updated the ammo icons in the inventory to look more realistic. So when I first seen it, I thought they looked really cool. But
Yeah.
I feel like it looks really cool, but it just for the art style of this game, I feel like it just doesn't, match that well.
It looks too real. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it
not
just looks
supposed
like out of
to.
place. It's like that's the best way to put it, I think.
I can't. I mean, I guess I'll get used to it, but it's just odd.
Okay, so now here's something that you can like help your teammates out with, or like if you need to share materials with teammates or whatever. If you're spectating somebody, like if you're down, like 2 or 3 of your guys are still up, you can see the amount of resources they have, so the amount of brick, wood, and metal they have, and you can like say you have a teammate or whatever, and he's low on wood, you can tell the other friend, oh hey, this guy, he's low on wood, you want to give him some, whatever. So you can tell him now. That's good. This is just a whole bunch of other bug fixes that I'm not going to read these because this is already going on too long. So these are just minor bug fixes that you probably won't notice. Social Battle Royale players can now accept party invites from players in Save the World and join games in progress. That's something good if you
Interesting. I do
are in Battle Royale.
every now and then.
Yeah. Art animation. Both Lynx and Zenith now have custom idle poses in the lobby, so they will pose their custom ones in the lobby when you're sitting there. Bug fixes. Okay, so these are like ones for the Red Knight shield or the Frozen Red Knight. The size of the
I
Red
heard
Knight
about
shield
this.
and the Raven back bling from the Frozen bundle now matches their original versions. Fixed the bug that was preventing the Deadfire outfit from being reactive in game, which is something some people are complaining about owning that outfit.
Yeah, I heard actually about the Deadfire outfit. It's still glitchy and it's bugged to where when you go into the game, it just reacts at random moments. Like it doesn't even have anything to do with their damage anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I heard that is a thing, so I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure it's true though.
Yeah. Replay bug fixes fixed a few replay loading issues that could cause a loading screen to appear when it was not necessary for one to be displayed. Because these are some mobile changes, I'm not really going to go over those. I'm going to link the patch notes in the description of this video. So if you guys want to read them all in depth, I'm just going over what I feel was the main points. So creative. So we're out of Battle Royale. This is it. Creative. They pretty much added a new like farm theme, from like Fatal, I think is what they done. And they added
Yeah, you can add corn stalks, huts, the
Yeah, yeah.
barn, main house, all that stuff now.
They added Frosty Fortress, a brand new Arctic island debuts in creative. So I guess it's a different island you can go and do stuff in. So they added that, and they fixed a bunch of bugs, and they did a bunch of stuff to creative. So, and big one. I was gonna let it go there, but there's one thing in creative I want to mention. It's they added turbo building to creative, so now you don't have to repeatedly tap to place down stuff. You can hold it like you do in battle royale, which is great. Jeez.
Yeah, and before you end this, I have one thing I actually want to say. The meta of the game and about the pump and then just spray meta right now. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of people didn't know about this, but you know how when they added double pump back and it was slow animation to pull out the pump? There was a thing you could do. You could go pump, tack 2 times, and switch back to your pump.
Yeah.
You know when they added the wheel in season 5? You could go
Mhm.
pump, tack twice, back to pump. So that right there is very interesting. I feel like double pump's overpowered. Yes, don't bring it back. As much as I loved it, and I was good with it. Don't bring it back. Bring pump, tack twice, switch back to pump. That would be pretty damn cool to me, honestly. It'd be
Yeah,
very awesome.
that's one way of looking at it. That's interesting. I feel like we've had the same type of meta for like a little too long, so I want them to do something to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm waiting
So
for that. Maybe season 8, hopefully.
yeah, maybe
Please.
they'll make changes then. So guys, that'll pretty much do it for this first debut episode of the Fortnite PatchCast. If there's anything I can do to improve the podcast in the future, just let me know in the comments, because this is the first one, so I'm open to suggestions. Maybe improving my craft, as it would. Because I feel
Or
like
on Twitter.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I read in here that I didn't really need to go over, so maybe it ended up being too long. So I just want you guys to let me know if there's something I missed. Tell me to read the patch notes more carefully next time. And that's pretty much all I have to say, guys. This is Hero Gaming, signing off. Is there anything you would like to say to close out the podcast, Kyler?
Oh, just saying. Hope you guys enjoyed the thumbnail. Had a little bit to do with that. Now,
Yeah.
next week's thumbnail is created by yours and yours only, me.
Yeah.
So, if you guys enjoyed that one, go follow Hero on Twitter at PackTristan if you want to use Twitter handle that way, or just look up Hero on Twitter. Come follow me on Twitter at PackKyler, chilling, or my actual name is Kyler Space Pack. So, come check me out, check him out, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, that does it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like as well as subscribe. I will leave links to anything I have mentioned and used in this podcast down in the description below. And until next time, guys. Yep, until next time, guys. I will see you on the next one.